Hi there and welcome to McFreedom Mindset episode 4. Great to be back. McFreedom Mindset, just to remind you, is always about I can't speak this morning. That's what holidays will do for you. McFreedom Mindset is all about giving you both the mindset and the skill set to achieve your own McFreedom. And of course, McFreedom is the freedom to scale, grow, sell your business, or run it from a beach somewhere if that's what you really want. So yes, as I mentioned, I have been away for a couple of weeks, hence the slight change of colour. I'm never one for a big tan, to be fair. But I just wanted to start actually by saying how important it is to take your holidays. And as business owners, we do have a tendency to either not take holidays or book them at the last minute, and there's therefore loads of stress about, getting holidays in the calendar. And really just to take advantage of the fact that basically we work for ourselves. We can actually plan for holidays. And when I do my 1-year plans, the first thing that goes into my calendar are my holidays. Holidays are so important. We all know what a great deadline a holiday can be. We get so much done in those last days leading up to holiday. And okay, that can be really quite tiring. And I know before I went away on my holiday, I was really ready for it. I really felt like, oh my God, everything was just hard work, actually. Everything was starting to become a little bit overwhelming. And then you go away on a holiday and if you really switch off, and I didn't at first, if I'm honest, I thought I should keep these Monday Facebook Lives going. And I did the first one, and then I thought, I just really need to completely switch off, refresh my mind, rejuvenate, and come back raring to go. And that's exactly what I did. I just took that time and relaxed. And now I've come back, I feel full of life. My clients are benefiting from it, and all is well with the world. Now, the reason I'm standing in front of this picture is I'm actually at a client at the moment. Today and tomorrow, I'm working with clients, actually talking to their teams, individually, one-to-one. They want to know what their team love about working with them, what their team find frustrating, what they could do to improve their working day, what aspirations they have, where do they want to go with their business. And actually the firm I'm with today, this is the second time I've done this. So I did it 2 years ago when I first started working with them, and this is like a revisit. This is like let's come back and see what's improved. Thank God things have. What's improved, what's moved forward, what's better now, what little niggles are there still, that we can then plan to put right. And then tomorrow I'm with a brand new team. It's going to be great to meet all of the individuals in the team, which is really useful. But also what I learned tomorrow from the new team is going to help me to help my client for the next 12 months. The thing that I love the most about this is that, obviously you've got you talk to the old timers, the people who've been around a few years, but you also get to talk to the new people. And it's a really useful thing when you've got a new person in your team to ask them with their fresh eyes what they're seeing. What's quite often people say, you won't get anything useful from them. They've only been around 2-3 weeks. Actually, you get their fresh view on what has become the wallpaper to everybody else. That when you walk into a new house sometimes, and you've got a wall that you need to sort this out because it just looks hideous, and then you find like you've been living in the house 2 years and that wall still looks exactly as hideous because you've stopped seeing it. These people with fresh eyes see things that you no longer see, so it's really good to talk to them. I was talking to my sister about what I was going to be doing for the next couple of days, and she reminded me of the analogy of the choir, the crypt, and the congregation. And the choir are the people in your team who are the real superstars. They are the people who, you know, you love having around you. They're your high flyers, the people that you give the big jobs to get them sorted. The crypt are then the people who are high maintenance. They are sometimes the rotten apples in your barrel, the people who are either constantly moaning or constantly asking questions, the same questions over and over again, very high maintenance. And then in between the choir and the crypt sits the congregation. And the congregation are very often forgotten because they're steady, they are reliable, they are consistent, they don't ask for anything, they're possibly never going to be your high flyers, or you may not see them as potential high flyers, but they are absolutely solid as a rock. You know that they will come in, they will do a really good job, and then they'll go home. No trouble, just really consistent, steady stayers. And one of my, a good example of this really is one of my dad's carers. He, God rest his soul, by the time he died, he was 93. He'd run his own business, so he could be quite demanding. He knew what he wanted. Even though he'd had a number of strokes, he didn't lose any of that. And this carer would come in, and she just had him in the palm of her hand, because she turned up on time every time, which was really important to him. His stomach clock never stopped working. So she turned up on time. She was always cheery, smiling. Nothing was ever a problem to her. It didn't matter, whatever my dad needed to be done, she just did without any bother or any complaint. If somebody had forgotten to do something for him or forget something, no, leave it to me, I'll get that sorted. She was just salt of the earth, consistent, reliable, and he absolutely loved her. And from her firm's point of view, the business who she worked for, from their point of view, they didn't know any of this really. She just came, did her job, and to them she was just, she always turned up, so she was reliable. She always, she never had any complaints about her, so she was reliable. But did they really recognise quite what she did, quite how good she was? I don't know. But the question for you is, do you have people like that in your team? How do you treat your whole team? Do you have a choir that are your stars? Do you have a crypt? And if so, we need to do something about that. But do you have a crypt full of people who are constantly moaning, complaining, really probably shouldn't be still with you? And then do you have that congregation that you pretty much ignore because they're just good? They just don't need any, from your point of view, they don't need any attention. Just a question for you, really. And one thing I would really like you to do this week is organise some one-to-ones with your team. Maybe in the next two, three weeks, maybe even next month if you're already stowed out for the next few weeks. But organise one-to-ones with your team. Find out what one thing you could do to make their day easier. What one thing you could do to help them to do their job better for you. Find out what their aspirations are. Where do they see themselves? Do they see themselves working with you for life because they love you? And if you feel that you wouldn't get straight answers, then bring in an outsider, bring in a friend, bring in me, to talk to your team and get this information that I'm picking up today at this client is absolutely invaluable. And it's the sort of stuff that doesn't readily come out. It's feedback about where people see themselves. It's feedback about who's sitting next to who and how that's affecting their work. It's little stuff, but it's always the little stuff, isn't it? It's always the little stuff that either gets in the way of a good job or makes people feel recognised, rewarded, helps them to stay motivated, wanting to do a better job. So think about your choir, your crypt and your congregation. Think about how you're treating them, and then get those one-to-ones organised. Find out a little bit more about what they love about working with you, what frustrates the hell out of them, and that one thing that you personally could do that would make their working day that much more enjoyable and productive. Go do it, and now we're back in the swing of our McFreedom Mindset episodes. I shall see you next week. Have a great week. Take care. Bye.